So what the hell are we watching? It's called Film Threat. The one named Alan is supposed to be the funny one.
Yes. I will rule you one day, Flash Gordon.
Yeah, that's a let's go.
Alan, I've been looking for you myself. Alan.
Oh boy. Look at that. We just saw the person who canceled the Jimmy Kimmel show.
I know.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah. There's a big protest in front of Disney.
Yes, all of Jimmy Kimmel's fans were there.
Yeah, all his viewers.
All of them. Like all of them showed
All of
up.
them.
I couldn't believe it. There were like 50 people there. Hey, happy Friday to everybody. A lot going on today. It's going to be, let me tell you what's happening on the show. One, we got a couple news items we'll get through. We'll talk about our main topic, Jimmy Kimmel. It applies to entertainment. That's why it's worthy of discussion. And a lot of people weighing in from film, TV, celebrities, a big discussion. That will be our main topic. We'll hit that right up front. Then we've got 7 movies to review today, including him and Doin It, starring your favorite female comedian.
Yeah, Asian comedian Lily Singh.
Yep. So we're doing it among other films we'll cover. And then we have 2 interviews today. That's right. 2 back-to-back interviews. Alexander Philippe for the documentary Chain Reactions about Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and Neil Marshall for the movie Compulsion. A big show. And then if we won't get to some things, we'll do it at the end of the show. So that's how things are going. But Alan, do you know what today is?
It's Batman Day.
No, tomorrow is Batman Day. Today is Batman Day Eve. And I don't know if you knew this, but I'm a huge Batman fan. So I am. I'm a big Batman fan. And it's Batman Day. So visit your local comic shop for Batman Day. Celebrate all things Batman. A lot of the Batman films are being re-released, including Michael Keaton's, 89 Batman Returns. They are back in theaters, which I went to it. It was great. Packed. People that never saw it on the big screen in first run got to see it. So celebrate however you celebrate. Channel your inner Batman and do something for Batman Day. Do you have any Batman Day plans, Alan?
No. I'm celebrating Spider-Man Day though.
I should have played
Damn
this.
you, Alan. How dare you hide from Mr. Gore? Alan.
Yeah, that would have been good.
Alan, you can't hide from Batman. You just can't. So there you go. Lot going on, folks. Let's get to your comments. We have a lot of new members. Holy cow. But first up, Chris Coffee Pool. What's everyone got? I got 0 coffee, just started first cup. I'm on second cup, but I really need a third. And then we have new members of the channel, Dokley 1986, Ryan Gosling. Congrats on your upcoming Star Wars movie. Can't wait to see it. Frank Capello and Press M to start. Hey, M, appreciate you all. Check out the exclusive videos for members only. They're great. I'm told it's also Talk Like a Pirate Day. There you go. But also, quick reminder, Award This, our annual event is coming up. We are looking for sponsors. So go to awardthis.com, click on sponsors, or go to filmthreat.com, contact. We're looking for sponsors for our event next year. If you're a filmmaker, hey, submit your movie to award this. Get your movie reviewed on Film Threat. You're eligible. Go to awardthis.com, all the details and how you can be eligible to be nominated for our award ceremony. The only award show you can buy a ticket to, and you get drinks, a gift bag, and a seat in the theater for our show. I can't wait to announce our host for this year.
I can't wait, Eli. It's gonna be great.
It's great. A comedian everyone knows. We got really lucky. So go to awardthis.com, support indie film. And also, by the way, go to shop.filmthreat.com. We've got a lot, I'm telling you, that's not it. That's not the shop. That's not the shop. That's our website. Also go to filmthreat.com, for which you can go to the website, but go to shop.filmthreat.com. Back to school collection that's going to be gone soon. We have our fall sports collection and our Spirit of Halloween collection. I'm wearing the Night of the Film Threat shirt, inspired by the Night of the Living Dead logo. So check out all those new shirts in stock right now. And basically, they're not in stock. Nothing's in stock. Every shirt is custom made per your size, color of shirt preference, and design. So get your shirt. Check it out. Okay. Lots to discuss. Quick thing. Tron Ares soundtrack just dropped. It just dropped. Just for people that care. I was listening last night. Now, before we get to our main story, Disney pockets $2.2 billion shooting outside the United States, outside America. Alan, I know you have the notes for this story. I'm not surprised they would make a decision based purely on finances. This is from Forbes. Alan, if you would, I'll bring up the story for you.
All right. Well, Disney has received about $2.2 billion from the UK government over the past 15 years, thanks to the Audiovisual Expenditure Credit, AVEC, a scheme that reimburses up to 25.5% of what the studios spend filming in the UK. Analysis of more than 400 companies filing shows Disney is the biggest single beneficiary of the incentive. Most of the spending on UK film production comes from overseas. In the last years, foreign studios made up about 87% of the $2.2 billion spent on filming there, a lift of 7.6 compared to 2019. The incentive has clearly worked to draw big productions to the UK. Meanwhile, filming in Los Angeles has declined. For example, from 2019 to 2024, the number of on-location shooting days dropped 35.7%, according to Film LA. To stay competitive, the UK bumped up its AVEC rate this year to its current 25.5%. States in the U.S. have tried to keep up. New York expands its film incentives in May. California raised its cap on tax dollars in June, but many analysts believe the UK may already have pulled ahead too far for many of the studios to shift back. Disney has made a long-term strategic move to the UK. In 2019, it secured nearly exclusive use of Pinewood Studios for a decade. Nearly 30 of its feature films and dozens of streaming shows since then have been filmed in the UK, contributing to more than 32,000 jobs. Some of Disney's biggest reimbursement gains came from Star Wars franchise Andor, The Rise of Skywalker, and from the Marvels. The Marvels received a reimbursement of 37.3% of its box office haul.
Stop right there. We get the gist of it. Look, here's the unlocked story, and I apologize for that. $2.2 billion. Nearly all of my friends who work in production, various what they call below the line jobs, none of them are working. People are not shooting in LA, much less California. And studios, greedy studios, played that Rob Lowe clip where he talks about shooting a show with everyone from LA, but they're in Ireland, because it's cheaper. This is where they're looking to save a buck. And it's killing the industry. It's killing below the line jobs, editors, production people, gaffers. ADs, like name any kind of job below the line. They're not working, and work is thin and hard to get. This is greedy, and this shows you how much Disney cares about this industry. Looking to save a few bucks. Well, they saved a lot over the years. So, Alan, what are your thoughts?
I agree with your sentiment there, but at the same time, this is also California's fault. If it wasn't so expensive to shoot in California, to have any kind of production, whether it's television or movies, I would think that Disney would at least give a larger share of its films to Los Angeles.
Or what they would do, excuse me, what they would do is lobby people in government to create policies to keep production here.
To keep production costs, fees, licenses low in California.
Yes. And shoot here.
Right. Because of these fees and licenses and everything, it costs a lot of money. You have to pay the government a lot of money to shoot in LA. But then we want to give them money so that they can give it back to the government to cover these costs. It's a evil plan. I mean, quite frankly, until California gets its acting gear, stay out of California. Go to England.
Let's get to our main story, because we have a lot of films to review. We have a lot to look at. Jimmy Kimmel has been suspended from his show. We showed the clip earlier of Jimmy Kimmel giving this monologue that is the thing that people objected to. It was not funny, and it held a political agenda behind it. This is what's changed my mind about a lot of things. I have friends on all sides of politics. Okay. I have lefty friends. I have friends on the right. What I don't like is people on the left emboldened and feeling it's okay to call people on the right names, dehumanizing names. You know what they are. Rhymes with Yahtzee. And this has been going on for so long, to where the words MAGA are synonymous with evil. And there's a lot of, they call it dog whistles, but it's also, they call it coded language. Things that are said with a wink that it's okay to think. That has really turned me off. And any person who does this, engages in this, or any media outlet, be it MSNBC, CNN, a Jimmy Kimmel, a Stephen Colbert. Honestly, I used to watch all of them. I remember when Kimmel was funny. That was a long time ago. I remember when Colbert's show, he was doing a bit on Comedy Central. It was funny. He was basically mocking right-wing pundits, going very hard right to the point of mockery. It was a very funny show. But all of these shows and the credibility of things like MSNBC, when you blatantly lie about facts over the murder of Charlie Kirk, you outright lie. There is intention behind that. We're going to look at a lot of clips. Before we get to the clips, Alan, what are your thoughts on this? And I'm going to go to a lot of clips. We'll be reviewing them, but go on, please.
Yeah, I mean, everything, all these celebrities who are criticizing this move, they all cite free speech. You should have the right to say whatever you want without getting fired, but at least they didn't shoot the guy.
Yeah. I mean, this is from Daily Mail. I believe you have notes for this story. This
Yeah.
is the one story we'll read. But a lot of look, every channel is talking about this. It's entertainment crossing over into politics, and I know some people do not have the stomach for it, but it needs to be discussed. Jimmy Kimmel goes nuclear over ABC canceling him for outrageous Charlie Kirk comments, as insiders reveal he already has new job plans. This is new. Now, I do know that he planned on doubling down, not apologizing. And by the way, this was over pressure that local affiliates did not want to carry the show.
Mhm.
This was not helping bring down the temperature. It wasn't doing that. Alan, please, if you would.
Yeah, so insiders described Jimmy Kimmel as absolutely effing livid and ready to sever ties with the network for good. Sources told the Daily Mail that Kimmel had a tense meeting with ABC executives, but was already plotting a guest appearance with the already axed CBS host Stephen Colbert. Both hosts, the source said, felt united in their opposition to the Trump administration, who are looking to do something together to fight for what they believe in. Kimmel's fury erupted after his Monday night monologue suggested that Kirk's assassin was linked to MAGA. By Wednesday, FCC Chair Brendan Carr was publicly urging broadcasters to take Kimmel off the air, warned that the FCC might investigate. Nexstar Media Group, which owns several affiliates, called Kimmel's remarks offensive and sensitive, prompting Disney-owned ABC to announce Jimmy Kimmel Live was preempted indefinitely. Kimmel's production staff expressed outrage over what they viewed as political pressure, undermining free speech. One producer said the crew was wandering around like aimless cows, blasting the network. Shame on the network for caving into pressure, even if he did not say something bad. That's freedom of speech. The same producer hinted broader retaliations if ABC stood by its decision. He'll get every friend he has to stop doing ABC shows. You want to book someone on The View? Good effing luck. Yeah, I mean that's the gist of it.
This is tearing apart the entertainment industry. It's tearing it apart. I've got a lot of things to share with you, Alan.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take a look at some of these things. One, there was a protest where the studios are. They're across from the TCL Chinese Theater. Here they are, right outside where they shoot Jimmy Kimmel Live.
How's this guy able to walk down the sidewalk?
FCC, fascism, corruption, control.
Yeah. By the way, if you want a picture taken with one of them, it'll cost you $25.
Yeah, there is a lot. The Hulk is there, Spider-Man. SheHulk star Tatiana Maslany has urged her fans on, I believe it was Instagram, to cancel their Disney subscriptions following the company's decision to suspend Jimmy Kimmel. Let's just say this. I don't think she's going to be in doomsday now. Here's a screenshot. Cancel your Disney Plus, Hulu, ESPN subscriptions. Tatiana, has she worked lately? I don't know what's going on.
She's in a movie, and I saw the trailer for it.
And how does that movie look?
I can't remember what it is.
Look, no, this person is known to be controversial at times. From our friend Steph at My Nerdy Home, Pedro Pascal is standing with Jimmy Kimmel, the same man who stayed silent when his co-star Gina Carano was fired over a social media post. He also spelled free speech wrong. LMAO. So here we go. That's this is what fascism looks like.
What does it look like?
Yeah, but yeah, this is Pedro Pascal. So I think he knows where his bread is buttered here. It's just odd because I've got a lot more to show here. We'll get to it. Damon Lindelof is stating he will not work on anything for Disney. This is from an Insta post through Matt Baloney. Lost writer producer Damon Lindelof says he won't work with Disney unless Kimmel is reinstated. I'm hearing other talent weighing similar pledges.
Yeah. Let me just say that I will refuse to work for Disney as long as Jimmy Kimmel is off the air.
Well, I may refuse to work for Disney for other reasons, but not because of Kimmel. Kimmel is the most loud and loathsome in terms of vilifying my friends, people that I know, relatives. It's driven people who used to be on your side away. Are you not aware? It's not just people on the right that dislike this rhetoric. It's also people who formerly were on the left who are like, hey, you're talking about people in my family. You're talking about people that serve drinks at my local bar, or wait staff from restaurants I go to, or just friends, just normal people. It's gone too far. There's too many things to show. Piers Morgan had something to say. I'm just going to keep bringing these up because there's a lot. Alan, would you read this, please?
Sure. Make it big.
That's what she said. Go ahead, Alan.
Well, okay. You want me to? Sorry, I thought you were going to pull it up on the screen. I'll get it.
Sorry. No, I didn't. Apologize.
I mean,
folks.
see the screen in front of you.
Time.
He was not on the screen in front of you.
It's okay. It's okay. I am upset today because we changed out our thumbnail. We're going to cover the movie Him on the show. We swapped out our thumbnail because this is important.
Yeah.
Not only free speech issues, the way it is having a ripple effect across everything in entertainment right now. We have to discuss it. Alan, if you would.
Right. From Piers Morgan, Jimmy Kimmel lied about Charlie Kirk's assassin being MAGA. This caused understandable outrage all over America, prompted television station owners to say they wouldn't air him, and now he's been suspended by his employers. Why is he being heralded as some kind of free speech martyr?
Exactly. Piers is very kind of normal on this stuff. And Ricky Gervais just says, there you go. The WGA weighed in as well.
Of course they
share this. Oh God, I'm gonna have to make that really big. My apologies, Alan.
Yeah.
It's again, we changed the show at the last minute, but this is their statement. Now, I had a friend of mine who is in the WGA send me this and say nothing about Gina Carano, nothing about Tucker Carlson, nothing about a list of people like who got canceled over. I mean, Megyn Kelly was canceled over a statement about Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
We can bring that stuff up, but if you would read this, if it's large enough, I know you like it big. I know you like it.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, there you go. All you had to do is take your shirt off, and it made it big. The following statement is from the Writers Guild of America West and the Writers Guild East. The right to speak our minds and to disagree with each other, to disturb even, is at the very heart of what it means to be free people. I'm having a hard time reading this. Do you want to do this one?
It is not to be denied, not by violence, not by the abuse of governmental power, nor by acts of corporate cowardice. Look, the show was losing money. I'm told some reports say it was losing more money than Colbert, who was losing $100 million a year. As a guild, we stand united in opposition to anyone who uses their power and influence to silence the voices of writers or anyone who speaks in dissent. If free speech applied only to ideas we like, we needn't bother to write it into the Constitution. Where were they when a whole host of other people were canceled? Gina Carano being the primary one that comes to mind. What we have signed on to, painful as it may be at times, is the freeing agreement to disagree. Yeah, you only stand up for one side ever. Shame on those in government. It wasn't government who made this decision. It was Disney and advertisers that were, hey, what are you doing with this comedy show? Shame on those in government who forget this founding truth. As for our employers, our words have made you rich. Silencing us impoverishes the whole world. The WGA stands with Jimmy Kimmel and his writers. Okay,
yeah,
and that's the
hey,
statement.
scroll up to the top for a second. Scroll up to the first paragraph. Okay, if you are a member, scroll down just one nudge. But if you're a member of the WGA, let me read this to you and let me know how this resonates with your experience at the WGA. The right to speak one's mind and to disagree with each other, to disturb even, is at the very heart of what it means to be a free people. Do you think members of the, do you think all members of the WGA feel like that their union represents this very fact that they have stated in the statement here?
No.
I mean, it's hypocritical. This is the highest of being hypocritical. And the fact that Jimmy Kimmel is the poster child of this.
Yeah.
Is
let's go to the SAG-AFTRA here.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be more balanced and nuanced.
Yeah, SAG-AFTRA has a statement as well. It's brief. SAG-AFTRA condemns the suspension of Jimmy Kimmel Live. It's very clear he is suspended, but it sounds like he's going scorched earth. Our society depends on freedom of expression, suppression of free speech, and retaliation for speaking out on significant issues of public concern run counter to the fundamental rights we rely on. Democracy thrives when diverse points of view are expressed. Do you feel
amazing
free?
that SAG and Ben Shapiro have something in common?
Yes. The decision to suspend airing Jimmy Kimmel Live is the type of suppression and retaliation that endangers everyone's freedoms. SAG-AFTRA stands with all media artists and defends their right to express their diverse points of view and everyone's to hear them. That's what SAG-AFTRA has to say.
Because that's the exact same statement that SAG gave when Roseanne got fired, wasn't it?
I was going to say, how many others can you name, Alan, who have been suspended? What about Tim Allen? Remember Tim Allen? Like, he's just a guy. Yeah. Look at this. Well,
I mean, to me, Roseanne is probably the best example of this. To have her show fired, to have her fired off her own show, have that show canceled and replaced with the Connors.
Let me give you. Here's a list someone compiled on X from Woman Definer. Jimmy Kimmel getting fired for what he said is the largest attack on free speech ever. Odd, because here's a small taste of the celebrities canceled the last 10 years by the same people crying now. Let me zoom in on that.
Yeah, you get that.
Roseanne Barr, 2018. Tucker Carlson. Shane Gillis. He was dropped from SNL right before. Gina Carano. J.K. Rowling. Piers Morgan. Dave Chappelle. Megyn Kelly. Hulk Hogan. Chris Harrison. On and on. I mean, more examples. It's infuriating. But
at least now they stand behind freedom of speech. Finally, they've come around, and the world is a much better place now. Now that cooler heads have prevailed.
Yeah,
God bless America.
The Babylon Bee has something to say, which is people okay with murder outraged by TV show cancellation. I mean, the Babylon Bee might be funny, but yeah,
we're being ironic.
Yes.
Which is still freedom of speech.
Breitbart News reminds us no one banned Jimmy Kimmel from every social media app. That happened to Trump. No one conspired to put Jimmy Kimmel in jail. That happened to Trump. No one fired a bullet at Jimmy Kimmel. That happened to Trump and Charlie. What happened to Kimmel is that his corporate employer decided he was no longer a profitable figurehead for its product distributed over the public airwaves. That's it. Now, let's hear what a comedian has to say. Rob Schneider, who has, has his mind changed about a lot of things.
Yeah, he's been
as have many of us. Let me play this clip of him. He's talking about this topic. Let's go.
So what you have here is you have capitalist pressure. Capitalist pressure is really important because what happens is you have to make money or you have to do something of value so that you can get something in return. Now, the interesting thing is it's false advertising because honestly, I mean, look, Jimmy Kimmel can be funny, and I don't mean to take anything away from that. But the fact of the matter, can you remember a political joke that went viral? What was something really funny of his? There was no attempt in humor at all in what he said. And as a matter of fact, it was a lie. Now, as you pointed to, Will, since the 1960s, you have to get a license to broadcast. This isn't Netflix. This isn't cable. This is broadcast TV. And when you have broadcast TV, you have to, the airwaves are owned by the public. And to get that license, you have to be in the interest, like you said, of the public. And so that's why when there's a news van parked in the white zone, they don't get a ticket because they are there to present news, to inform the public in the public interest. So what happens is 25% originally was supposed to be the news to inform it, to get that license. So when you absolutely lie to the public, then you are no longer in the public interest, like Jimmy Kimmel did the other night. Right. Mislead and lie, and actually was something dangerous. So with the FCC chairman, he didn't say that he was going to pull the license. He was going to give them a warning and ask for an apology, if what I understood on the Benny Johnson show. And so that's not the government doing it. And when 246 different stations around the country say we're no longer airing this, it's because they heard from their consumers. They heard from their customers. And they said, that's it. We're not doing it. And so Nexstar, who was a great guy over there, Sean Compton, said, that's it. He's the CEO and said, when we have complaints like this and none of the channels, 246, because I'm sorry, it's not just LA and New York. There are people in between who have a real sense of decency and who realize that what you had here was you had someone who wanted to have conversations and debate.
Do you remember you tried to ruin this kid's life for a smirk? Do not dare lecture us on cancel culture. And I want to end with this. You may or may not be following this comedian. You might be, Alan, because he's Asian. This is Steve Byrne, had this to say.
Obviously, there's a lot of stand-up comedians out there grandstanding about Jimmy Kimmel and freedom of speech. Now, I just want to say this real quick. I don't think Jimmy Kimmel is going to get fired. I think he's suspended. I think he'll be back on the air. But all that said, I think you have all these comedians out there grandstanding on the banner of freedom of speech. And I love freedom of speech. I think anybody should be able to say what they'd like to say. But you are beholden to a corporation, okay? Corporation's there to sell advertising dollars. And as comedians, here's the dirty little secret nobody's talking about. Every time you see a late night talk show set, what happens is a stand-up comedian will tape that set in a comedy club. They'll send it to a segment producer who works for that show. That segment producer will approve that set. And then the segment producer and the stand-up comedian will work hand in hand in transcribing the entire set, going through it, censoring it, truncating it, and sometimes at the cost of a joke, neutering it, all to get on television. Why? Because there's the FCC, there's standards and practices, there's non-offending sponsors, there's alignment of principles per that network. So there's all these entities. Yes, it's a comedy show, but it's under the umbrella at the end of the day of a corporation, and you got to play by the rules. So any comic that's sitting there saying freedom of speech, well, then say that to the segment producer next time and see how far that gets you. Let me tell you, last time I did a late night talk show, and I've done all the shows. You know, I did the Tonight Show 10 times. This is the last set I did. I was told I can't talk about being Asian because they didn't want to offend Asians. And I'm like, but I'm Asian, and you just offended this Asian who's a guest on your show. And apparently Chelsea Handler had told some hack joke about Asians the week before. And I'm like, but she's white talking about Asian. Like, I'm actually Asian, and I couldn't talk about being Asian. Freedom of speech, yes, but under the banner of a corporation, totally different ballgame.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
he's half Asian. Let's.
Come on, Alan. What do you quibble? I like that guy, Steve Byrne. Hey, we're gonna end with this. Go to your comments. Let's hear from a late night talk show host, Johnny Carson, on this topic. This is a clip from years ago.
Tell me the last time that Jack Benny, Red Skelton, Benny comedian, used his show to do serious issues. That's not what I'm there for. Can't they see that? But you're not. Why do they think that just because you have a Tonight Show that you must deal in serious issues? That's a danger. It's a real danger. Once you start that, you start to get that self-important feeling that what you say has great import. And, you know, strangely enough, you could use that show as a forum. You could sway people, and I don't think you should as an entertainer. Tell me the last time that Jack Benny...
that's so they was talking to Mike Wallace, actually.
Chris Wallace is dead. Yeah.
Yes. It's an old clip. Let's go to your comments and see what you guys have to say.
Oh, how about my comment about?
Okay, go to your comment.
Yeah. So, I mean, this just came out, but they did an interview with Sherry Redstone, who once owned Paramount just a couple months ago, and she talked about why Stephen Colbert was canceled, and a lot of people are saying, well, it was because of the lawsuit that was settled between them and the Trump administration. But the reality is, and she says it was that it lost money. It was not making any money, and that they had to cancel it because, you know, they're trying to sell the company and they can't have dead weight going on it. I 100% believe that that the FCC did Disney a favor by giving them a reason to cancel Jimmy Kimmel. Look, ChatGPT is not the you know, I looked it up. I went there. I don't know how true the information is, but it appears that on average, each episode of Jimmy Kimmel Live costs $300,000. That's 200 episodes per season. I think the FCC did Disney a favor and gave them the excuse they needed to cancel the Jimmy Kimmel show.
I would agree.
It's just too expensive. And let's be real. I was a big fan of late night television all the way up until a certain event occurred in 2016. And the reason I stopped watching was because every joke was basically Trump's a racist. Every night there has to be a racist Trump joke, and it just got tiresome and boring. And because they were telling the same joke over and over every day, that joke they had to basically make up facts in order to just get a punchline in. And so it was that point that I just walked away from late night altogether. Johnny Carson, you play Johnny Carson. I had been watching Johnny Carson since I was a kid, and all the way through. And then I switched to Conan or Letterman, then Conan. And late night is the shell of what it is. The only reason SAG and the Writers Guild are upset that Jimmy Kimmel's off the air is because now their clients can't appear on late night television anymore.
Right.
Jimmy Fallon is the last bastion of publicity for late night television. And you know, it's funny that no one talks about Jimmy Fallon being the last man standing. No.
Well, I think Conan was my favorite. He was kind of, when he went off the air, I just tuned out of late night and never looked back.
Yeah.
Let's go to comments.
Knee Pain gifted 5 Film Threat memberships. Thank you.
Thanks, Knee Pain. Check out. I'm posting a lot of videos today, so look later.
Snakes and Funerals, member for 31 months. Globalism will destroy all of us if not stopped. Yes, Garth Knight returns. I can't wait until Alan gets dismissed like Kimmel by Chris. You have no idea. It'll be some odd eye contact afterwards at their shared 1-bedroom apartment.
What do you mean? You're not going anywhere. Stop it.
Well, if I pull up the wrong banner, who knows?
Yeah, well, do better, Mr. Ing. Whatever. All right.
Suns and Shadows for 5. None of them are giving up a big paycheck. Other studios will notice and not want to work with them either. Jimmy Kimmel is making $15 million a year. Was making $15 million a year. Mr. for 400 rupees. I noticed Robert Bennett making a gazillion posts about Trump being a dictator. Maybe a short break could help clear his head. Social media can be draining.
Yeah, I'm gonna see Rob at a party tomorrow.
Yeah, talk to him about that.
And I'm gonna talk to him, but like I talk to people I disagree with all the time. I'm surrounded by them. I don't care. We talk to each other. That's what we do.
And Robert has good takes. Not
And
necessarily
some
about
bad
Trump.
and some
really
takes.
bad takes.
Well, no. I would say takes I don't agree with.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fine.
Let's see. ADL 1992 for 199. Can Lindelof just quit altogether?
That is possible.
And then also from ADL 1992 for 499. I wish the FCC guy hadn't said anything, or that they would have backed off and let the ratings do the talking. No, I think Disney needed an excuse, and this was it.
Yep.
Rudy for 5. People who don't even watch Jimmy Kimmel are protesting. They cry when someone lost their job for speech, and not when someone died because of speech.
Oh man.
In fact, they'll celebrate and make jokes about him. Adrian for 20. Disney can destroy ESPN, Star Wars, the MCU, Indiana Jones, and the Muppets. Is totally fine, but if they suspend, not even terminate Jimmy Kimmel and his falling late night television show, a line is crossed.
Yeah, failing late night show. That's great. And thank you for that. Very generous. Thank you so much for these super chats. Help support the show.
Right. And a member for 36 months. We have not been doing this for 3 years.
Wow. JTPRX, thank you. 36 months. That's amazing. Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Left outrage for Jimmy being fired for speech. Charlie fired upon and killed for speech. And far left rationalizing / excusing and or celebrating.
Yeah. That says it all.
The hypocrisy is right there in our faces.
Hey, it's time to review movies, Alan. We are reviewing 7 movies today that are opening in theaters. I did not see this one. It's an Angel Studios movie. I am a fan of football. I am a fan also of Michael Chiklis. Alan, tell me about The Senior. Give me the brief synopsis, and because I saw the trailer for The Senior, and I don't know about like the just, do I buy the concept?
Yeah.
He's this older man on a high school team. What?
No,
Explain it.
not a high school team. It's a college team.
College team. Okay.
And this is a true story.
Wow.
Michael Chiklis is playing Mike Flint, a man who at age 59, let's just say that back in college, he was entering his senior year as the star football player, but he had a temper, one that was kind of built from his father, just really driving and pushing him hard and telling him basically that you either win the fight or you don't come home. Basically, that was what life was like. And during his senior year of college, he got into a fight, and it was kind of the last straw, and he got expelled from college, never to return. And so he gets married, just moves on, becomes an adult, has 2 kids, and let's just say that on a work trip to his old college, he realized that he still had an open year of his senior year, and that he could just return and get his degree. But not only does he want to get his degree, but he wants to finish his senior year of college football. And he goes to the coach and says, "Can I give it a shot?" Coach is played by Rob Corddry. Coach is like, "You nuts? You're 50. You're 59." And he says, "Well, just let me work out with you guys and let me decide." And then his work ethic at this point just said, "Okay, we'll give you a shot." And weirdly enough, he makes the team. And so that's kind of this is the movie where he has to now prove himself in front of his team, his coach, that he deserves to be there. and like any other Angel Studio film, there's a theme behind it, and this theme is about second chances. And the obvious one is the second chance to play football, but the other ones is the second chance that you give people who have wronged you, and it's the second chance that you have to redeem yourself to the people you've wronged. And that's what this movie really is about. That's the heart and soul of this movie. In terms of the football, what about a 59-year-old guy who goes to play real college football? It's a real story. So they played out the story exactly how it happened. It'll surprise you. I don't want to give away exactly the mechanics of him going back, but it's very interesting. And the other thing is it was directed by your buddy, Rod Lurie.
I love Rod Lurie.
Yeah.
He was Rod Lurie, a former film critic who became a director.
Yeah. I used to listen to him on KBC here in LA.
He was great.
And then he got a chance to direct a movie and he never went back.
Yeah. Good for him.
Yeah.
I can I predict the ending?
Okay.
The end credits shows you the real guy in real footage. Am I right?
Yeah,
I've
you're
seen
right.
These
It
Angel
does.
Studios movies, and whenever they do a based on a real story, I don't mind it. I like the technique. It's like, I can't believe this story. It can't be real. And at the end of the movie, over credits, they show you the real person, footage, video.
Of him playing football, of him.
But like, it's like, wow, it's a style. I know. But is it a good sports movie? Because I like
There's
movies.
a lot of sports. I'll give Rod Lurie credit here. The football scenes look really good, and it is college football. But
we lost Alan. Okay, we're to go to comments.
sorry, I got booted. Hello, can you?
Okay, let's go to comments. We'll just cut it
I
off
got
there because we have a lot to do.
Okay.
Here we go.
From Javi Nobody, the hate monger, Adam Carolla feels bad for his friend Jimmy. I mean, your friends are still your friends. I mean, yeah. Jeff Romatics for 5. Hard to feel bad for this when him and his others laughed and egged it on for others. Sorry. Let me get back to my normal way of doing this. Nerd Far Away, member for 30 months. Just wanted to see how long I've been a member.
Oh, thank you, Nerd Far Away. We appreciate you. Love your commentary.
Yeah, 30 months. Nose is Wild for 999. Kimmel won't be back to late night. This is the best thing that happened to him. He is now a Hollywood martyr. He will be the toast
of the town, standing ovation at the Oscars, books, podcast, everything. All right. Thank you, Nose is Wild.
Okay.
Appreciate that.
I'll just say one sentence about the senior. Michael Chiklis is the reason to see it. Okay.
Okay. Hey, Alan, do you like Doing It?
Yes, I do.
And by Doing It, I mean the movie Doing It with Lily Singh.
Oh, then no.
No, first of all, Lily Singh has had a interesting career. She had a late night show herself, which was canceled because it wasn't funny and no one watched it.
No, it's because of the political takes she was taking and the fact that she was bisexual.
Well,
that's why.
Also, she mentions her bisexuality and her politics in almost everything she does. She's a woman who is a 30-year-old virgin. They could have retitled this movie The 30-Year-Old Virgin. And she becomes a substitute teacher teaching, what is it? Sex ed, but she's a virgin who's never had sex. She had a bad experience as a young woman with sex with a man who it's a very awkward thing that happened where a man kind of all over her, if you get my meaning. Cut to later, she's a virgin and teaching sex ed, and she's kind of on the side trying to develop an app. She becomes very controversial with her way of teaching. You already know what this is because if you know Lily Singh, it's her sense of humor. I can't say this is the worst movie of the year. because War of the Worlds exists. And Run, the movie Run, watch my review of Run, that also exists. It is the worst comedy of the year. It's bad, cliche. It checks every box in the worst of ways, and it just isn't funny. And I'll say also, it's look, and I'm no prude. I like raunchy humor. Raunchy humor is fun. When it's done well, it can be really funny. It's god awful. I mean, even looking at this poster, she has a condom over a banana, big pink condom.
Yeah, I mean, the condom wrapper should be ripped open because
I mean, I mean, watching this comedy was a form of suffering unto itself. Alan, what did you think? Alan, you're a comedy aficionado. What did you think of doing it?
Yeah, let me tell you why this is bad, or why the comedy is bad. And we've talked about this before back in the D Files, but
yeah,
in the D Files, it was okay. We have a group of animators. So what we're going to do, but we need 50-50 equity. So what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of half the men. And so they got rid of the veteran guys. They made life hard for the veteran guys. And in fact, the veteran guys, they weren't even allowed to talk about how Walt would have done it. And then they went to various social media sites and deviant art sites and said, hey, let's get our female animators from there. And so now you bring in this giant army of female animators. You get rid of your veteran animators, and you get movies like Strange World, and you get movies like Elio. The point I'm making here is, because you don't have anyone with any experience of writing a comedy, you don't know. Not only do you not know how to do comedy, but now you're starting at level 1, where you're telling level 1 jokes. And that's what this movie is. It is all just level 1 jokes. So jokes by people who have not written anything for any significant amount of time, for people who have not lived life to be able to have nuanced jokes about sex, especially sex for women and bisexuals and men and sex education. Here, let me read you a joke. She says, I'm an HTML girl, not an STD girl. Huh?
Oh my God, that joke.
Yeah. Oh, let's see. Oh, the pinnacle of hotness in this movie as a man is Hassan Minaj. He's the one all the girls are going after. Look, is there's a joke where, okay, she's like using a vibrator for the first time. Guess what happens at the end of that scene?
Yes,
she's in her bedroom trying to use the vibrator. What how does that scene end? So someone walked in on her. That's what I mean. These are basic level A jokes, and they're all throughout. There's not a single person here who has thought about, what I see a lot in comedy, especially in improv, is people tell the first joke that comes to your mind. That's the wrong thing to do. The joke you should tell is the second, third, fourth, fifth joke that comes to mind, because everyone else has already come up with that first joke. That's the easy, low-hanging fruit. And so this movie is pedestrian, it's basic, and not clever in any ways. And you call it raunchy. That's an offensive word that's an offense to the word raunchy, because what doesn't appear in this movie? What two things don't appear in this movie? Boobs.
Yeah, there's no nudity.
There's no nudity
in a sex comedy.
Yeah, even male nudity, if you want to go that way, if you want to be progressive about it. So it's like,
but her mom uses the vibrator as a blender.
Yeah, huh? Isn't that funny?
To mix up stuff.
Yeah. Look, the way I always put it is, if I could have written this movie, it's not a good movie.
Yeah, well, it's colossally bad.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I'm sorry. I think we all know why Lily Singh has a career. It's not because she's funny. It's because she checks a whole bunch of boxes that gave her a leg up, but you still have to be funny. I don't care who someone is. I don't care what someone looks like. if you're funny to me, I'm a fan. But I've never been a fan of hers. She's insufferable. Her late night show was unwatchable, as is this movie. Hard passed, worst comedy of the year. Alan, would you agree?
Yes.
Of the comedies we've seen so far, this is the worst.
Yeah. No, it is the worst. And people are mentioning that she's Canadian. It used to be that Canadians were funnier than Americans.
And they're not, and well, I mean, I don't know, so many great comedians and actors came from Canada.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't want to disparage Canada, but
well, I mean, look at Eugene Levy, that group, the Best in Show group.
Second
Eugene Levy,
City.
Catherine O'Hara, John Candy.
Second City is legendary.
Mm-hmm.
But this movie is an embarrassment for everyone involved.
And for Canada.
Let's go to comments with a big wow.
From former Russian Premier Mikhail Gorbachev for $100. Hey guys, longtime listener, fourth-time caller. Sorry to rant on this, but it is too tiring to see certain people shill for a producer credit, attaching their name to awful films when they haven't directed anything like in a million years. Maybe it's just me. Love you guys.
Thank you, Mikhail Gorbachev. So generous. We appreciate it. That is awesome.
I never thought you'd say that ever to a Russian. Hannibal Grimm, member 28 months. What in the hell was that joke?
Right.
JM Stoneface. Only comedic thing about using a vibrator for the first time is the chipped tooth. Heard that in the 80s. Okay.
That's actually a good joke.
No, I get it. Yeah, that would have been better in the scene. And it would have been a 40-year-old joke. Brujo, a lot of low-hanging fruit in a movie cast with older women.
Yeah, this movie will bomb. It is in theaters this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna bomb hard.
Yeah. The Dark Knight Returns, Spicy Curry, the movie. Brock Samsonite, they make dildoritas. Okay, say more.
Oh my God.
And I Will Not Eat the Bug, sexless comedy about sex jokes.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And a programming note, our first interview has canceled, so we can now spend a little more time on reviews and a little more time on your comments. FYI. So we will only be reviewing Compulsion director Neil Marshall today. But we still have 5 reviews to do in half an hour. Can we do it, Alan?
We could do it.
Approximately 6 minutes per review. They just canceled. I do pop over to my email on occasion while I'm live,
talking.
But that's just to monitor things. Hey, there's a new film out from executive producer Jordan Peele. And the trailer for him might be one of the best trailers I've seen this year for a horror film. If you've seen this trailer, no joke, it hits hard, literally in the trailer. The movie now is not directed by Jordan Peele, to be clear. It's directed by Justin Tipping, I believe, who's he's not done a lot before. I believe this may be his first feature. But he directed him. It is set in the world of football. Now it's fictional football. It's not the NFL. They're fictional teams, the Saviors. And Cameron Cade is this rising star quarterback played by Tyreek Withers. He's Cam Wade. He suffers an injury where he gets a concussion from someone we see in a mascot costume in a weird montage. We see him as a kid watching his favorite quarterback, Isaiah White, played by Marlon Wayans, who's kind of like a Tom Brady type. He's got 8 Super Bowl rings. They don't call it the Super Bowl, but he's won 8 championships. He is the GOAT, and he's looking to retire, and maybe Cam can replace him, but he suffered this injury. So most of the movie doesn't take place on the football field. He goes out to the middle of the desert to this weird practice compound where Marlon Wayans' character, Isaiah, puts him through the paces, doing all sorts of bizarre processes, exercises, practice. He's on ice, he's being injected with who knows what to help him. He's stripped nude in front of everyone and inspected by a doctor. It's very humiliating. His phone is confiscated, no internet. He has to focus on football. And Isaiah's message to Cam is football is more important. It's football, family, then God. Football first. That's what he explains to him. And it all comes down to a choice. Will Cam sign a contract that is literally in a ceremony, like signing a contract with the devil? Or will he walk away from football altogether? Things get weird as a cult somehow enters the compound. He has misgivings about maybe his family, what their motivations may be behind this, in particular his father, who passed away when he was young. It's about, what are you willing to sacrifice? Here's why the movie does not work and might be it is on my list of worst of the year. I don't have a top 10 list this year, not even close, but I do have a worst of the year. A lot of worst of the year. War of the Worlds, Run, Doin It with Lily Singh, and this movie. I could easily put together a top 10 worst of the year. I can't put together a top 10 movies of the year. This movie is incoherent. The way it's directed is like a TikTok video you scroll past. Every scene is in montage. Scenes don't play out. With a scene in a movie plays out with kind of a beginning, middle, and an end. Or you cut off the end and it leads to the next thing that connects. This is so bizarre in the way it's directed. It's directed by someone on cocaine, and not in a good way. On cocaine, creating reels for TikTok. That's how bad this is. It's in there are no real scenes where you get to know and feel for Cam. And this is what it's lacking. A moral center. There needs to be a moral center, because I believe great lessons come from football. This could have been an interesting take, a sports horror movie. We saw that video, check it out on our channel, Vampire Football, which was a script that came out in 2018, 2019, and someone did an AI trailer for Vampire Football, which this movie clearly rips off elements from this Vampire Football script, which is on the Blacklist. Look up the Blacklist. Is a published list of scripts that have been overlooked and deserve to be made. And I'm not sure if the title is right. It's kind of a cheesy title, but Vampire Football had a better story and plot we saw from the AI trailer than this, which no morality, no center. You wonder what Isaiah White's motivations are. Marlon Wayans is unhinged. It's a one-note performance. He's a psychopath the whole movie. And Cameron doesn't react like a normal human would. Like, he's just, I'll do anything for football. That's it. The movie's one note, thin, and god awful. Avoid like the plague. One of the worst films of the year. And I was so sold on that trailer. And by the way, the trailer's misleading about what happens. The trailer for Him has a more coherent story than the movie Him, which it really shows maybe what social media has done to erode the ways our brains work. Because this movie, I wanted to walk out, but I had to know what happened at the end. And the ending makes no sense. I won't give it away, but based on what's going on, what Cam does at the end of the movie, there's no reason for it, or there's nothing leading that would lead you to believe that how he acts at the end of the movie makes any sense in the real world whatsoever. 0 out of 10. Let's go to comments.
So did you like it?
No. And I'm so glad I saw it, and I told Alan, don't go see
Don't
it.
bother. Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah, don't bother. Don't waste your time.
No, I saw a big, bold, beautiful journey instead. Ron Enriquez, is that case, Chris and Alan? I turned 51 yesterday. Can I get a free shout out? No.
Absolutely not,
No.
Ron Enriquez. No shout out for your birthday. It's not happening. Not on this show.
Quite frankly, you're a year too late.
Yeah.
Olo Lee Hui, listening to Frank describe this, I got it mixed up with the vampire football we saw yesterday.
Yeah, it's not that movie. That movie's not even, that movie
That's the one
doesn't
you
even
want to
exist. It's a script.
Yeah. Tim is not funny. A psychedelic hip hop sports horror comedy kind of works. Marlon Wayans is great, goes off the rails, and I didn't understand some of the last act, but it was creepy fun.
Well, I'm glad you liked it. I despised it.
I think the film is more about the tone, it feels like, than about the story.
Right.
I will not eat the bugs. I am tired of Jordan Peele's deadbeat dad, a biracial drama ruining horror.
That's what it was.
Dr. D-Man 21. We need a baseball horror movie called Demons in the Outfield.
I would like that.
Mike Wade. I saw him yesterday. Unfortunately, the concept was there, but the movie was just all over the place.
Agree. It was a mess.
Snakes Funeral. Chris and I have the same birthday. Can I get a free shout out?
Snakes and Funerals, you may not have a free shout out for your birthday.
No, sorry.
Sorry.
The Garth Knight Returns. My birthday back in May. Can I get a shout out? No.
Absolutely not. The Garth Knight Returns. Not a shout out for your birthday in May. It's not
By
happening.
the way, happy birthday, Robert Meyer Burnett.
Yes. Alan, you saw a movie called Xeno.
Yes.
I didn't see this movie. I did see the trailer. I was interested. It's a movie about a young girl who befriends kind of a grotesque looking alien. Tell me about Xeno.
Yeah, give me just 1 second here. Here we go. So Xeno is the story of just let me get my it's a story of a little girl named Renee who is just kind of struggling her way through high school. Has the typical problems with parents and friends and things like that. But out in the outskirts of town, a meteor lands and an alien pops out of it. And the alien, she after a fight with her family, she goes out into the desert, sees the explosion, goes over there, and finds an alien chained up to a car. It goes back to something that happened earlier.
Really?
Yeah, and she lets the alien go, and a friendship is formed. She borrows a friend's video camera, and she documents her interacting with the alien. And so there's that element of it, the relationship between the alien and the girl. Then there's the relationship she has with her mother's boyfriend, who doesn't like her at all. And then also there are government agents coming after it. So we've seen this movie. It's E.T. The biggest difference in this movie, though, is the alien is not cute in any way. Alien is scary. Alien is dangerous. But the element of this story is that relationship between the girl and the alien. I like this movie. I like the cojones of this movie. This is for kids. This is probably for the older set kids. If as an adult watching this, it was like, yeah, there are a lot of kid themes in it. But what I liked about this movie is that it's not dumbing anything down for kids. The fact that the alien is scary, the alien is a killer, the alien is just too powerful for everyone. That right there says, all right, someone's trying to push the boundaries of kids stories. And the way things play out with the government, with the boyfriend, is done in a very realistic and adult way, and again for kids. So this is just this is a movie you've never seen before in the way it's handled, and for that alone, and a fairly solid, decent story. I mean, it's E.T. I give this a recommendation. It's definitely worth experimenting and say, hey kids, I want to take you to a movie that's not like any movie I've ever shown you. And so definitely kudos and recommendation for Xeno.
Well, I have a question. The alien is very like grotesque. That's the thing about E.T. E.T. is cute.
Yes.
We like E.T. But this alien looks like a monster.
Yeah, it's like a xenomorph in a way. And shout out to Jim Henson Studios who designed the at least the practical version of the alien.
Yeah, I was like intrigued because you could kind of see where this is going. It's definitely like it's E.T.
Yeah.
But the look of the alien itself kind of was like that made me question, but it really doesn't work.
Yeah, it does work. Like I said, if you have a cute looking alien, this movie is like every other alien movie. If you have one that is cuddly and cute and you want to hug and hold it, then it's just like every other alien movie. This one at least makes the bold attempt to say, we're going to do something different. We're gonna introduce what adults see aliens as, and bring it down to a kid's level.
Well, I mean, there are other cute alien movies.
Yeah, there are plenty of cute alien movies. This is not that. This is something.
Yeah,
very
I mean, there's God, Mac and Me comes to mind.
Yeah,
there's like a bunch. They're stupid. They're all kind of stupid.
I mean, Elio for crying out loud is that.
Elio's kind of that. Yeah. So you recommend it?
I do. I do. And you talk about it all the time. It's the diet of movies. This is where you transition young kids from milk to beer.
Okay. I didn't expect you to put it that way, but it's a recommend for Xeno.
It's a recommend. Yeah.
Let's go to comments here.
Do we have any? Yeah, from Dr. E.T. with a girl and the alien is dangerous. That's right. Yeah, Lilo and Stitch. The working title. I can't believe it's not Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah, makes sense. Brujo makes sense.
Bulldog 9. Are they selling Reese's PCs in this one too? Are they? There's something like that in this. Crunk's Punts. I don't hate the sound of this from Alan's take. Yeah. So in the shadows. So Mac and Me on crack. Exactly. Laura Buckles. Children's stories have always had a scary element. It teaches them how to deal with things you encounter in life.
Exactly, Laura. That's why this interested me.
That's why Snow White had an evil queen. Disney realized that kids having scary elements in his movies were an important thing to have.
Hey, let's talk about a new romantic, I'd call it a romantic fantasy, a big, bold, beautiful journey. It stars Colin Farrell and Margot Robbie. They're both older singles that attend a wedding and have a chance meeting at this wedding. Now, previous to going to this wedding, they both rent cars from a weird rental car agency, which makes me kind of suspicious of everything about this film. Phoebe Waller-Bridge and Kevin Kline play people with German accents renting Saturn cars with their own GPS.
You mean Indiana Jones is running this?
No. Yes. Phoebe Waller-Bridge with a bad German accent rents Colin Farrell's character David this car, and things feel kind of off. Now he goes to this wedding with this rental car, meets Margot Robbie's character, Sarah, and he tells him, look, marry me. And then he's like, oh, I just met you. It's like, well, she seems like a crazy person who's an older single woman who's like, I'm a monster. She tells him basically all of her relationships end up badly. And she says, I don't want to hurt you. Well, maybe I'll hurt you, David says to Sarah. What ends up happening, they end up meeting on the way back from this wedding. They meet at a Burger King and her car breaks down. So what do? They decide to go on a journey together. And the GPS says, would you like to go on a big, bold, beautiful, beautiful journey? Literally the title of the movie said out loud, I want to go on a big, bold, beautiful journey, which this movie, things about this movie are off. It's like an alien directed a movie about humans and thought this is how humans act. I'll get to that later, because there's a fantasy element where they encounter doors in the middle of the woods. And when you enter the door, it takes you back in time to an important part of your life, a pivotal part of your life. David has an encounter with he goes through a door back to his old high school. He's in his old high school 15-year-old body about to do a stage play. And it's the night where a young woman broke his heart, his first love. Margot Robbie has an encounter with her mother who passed away, and she wasn't there. She should have been there for her mother. Each of them experiences moments in their life, pivotal moments of trauma, conversations. David meets his father. These are all encounters through doorways that take them to another time in their lives. This is not Back to the Future, right? But it has a fantasy element that David and Sarah don't really question, which seems weird. It feels like this movie was based on a play where you had two people acting. And there are even elements of that.
There's elements of a stage play in this movie.
Yeah, really elements of a stage play. I say that from the lighting. Sarah and David dress in these costumes that are similar with that kind of overhead, stage
it's like
lighting.
A black box.
It's like a black box where everything is fantasy, but the actors bring things to life. They make you believe I'm back in high school. I'll say halfway through this movie, I'm like, I'm sitting here shaking my head. This is just dumb. David acts in this high school musical and whatnot. I hate to say this. I got broken down as the movie goes further, and we see how the relationships, why they are the way they are now, with walls up to being in they're two people who could be together. They could be married, but they have walls up from past trauma. And by revisiting their old trauma, maybe they have a chance. The movie won me over. In the end, I was like, it's not the best movie I've seen this year, but I really enjoyed it. You gotta get on the ride. You gotta be willing to get on the ride. Alan, what did you think of A Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey?
Yeah, for someone who likes Dune, I'm surprised it took you so long to get on the ride in this movie.
Yeah.
I really like this movie. It's right up there with The Materialists. It's a romantic. Yeah. It's not a romantic comedy. It's a romance movie. In the vein of, it's a serious Tom Hanks, Meg Ryan type movie. There are humorous elements, but this is a dramatic film with fantastical elements. The allegories of walking through a door, the idea of trying something, taking a risk in life. That's what the doors stand for. But what I like about this movie is I feel like for the last 8 years, most Hollywood movies have been lecturing us about the people we need to be. They have this idea that you need to be for this and for that, and you need to be this kind of person. This is a movie about two people who are us, and it takes us on this journey of falling in love. For David, his hang up is that he was told he was so special from his very birth. To the point where he's in this musical and he's the star of this musical. He's always been told that he was special, and in that he wanted to be married and find a girl. And every girl he found, he was more interested in the chase of finding that girl. And then once he catches her, she doesn't live up to his idea of what the perfect mate is. For Margot Robbie, she's been let down so much by life that it's kind of like she would rather hurt you than be hurt first.
Right.
She would rather hurt you than herself be hurt. And for both of them, as you say that, look, we can relate to these things. We've either experienced it. I think I've probably fallen more on the David end of things. But this movie is about just two people who are us dealing with our shit. And then at the end, taking a risk on love. I mean, that's a romance. That's a romance right there. And and it evokes every feeling of that. And for me, I bought into the conceit of the doors and who they are right from the first door. Because I was like you, I was like, okay, this looks really stupid. But then it wasn't even the musical, which was great. They did How to Succeed in Business without even trying, but it was the moment that he tells his first love that he loves her, and to see it, he has to relive it, and therefore we feel it. And then for her, it was a chance that it was missing her mother's death. She wasn't there by her side when she died because she was doing something awful.
Yeah,
and she now has to face that. And quite frankly, I think what I like is because I could relate to this movie so much. And the thing that I related to the most was, for me, I didn't get married until I was 30. And I got married because it was the reason 30 was the right point in my life was because I finally figured my shit out. And I finally figured out that this is the time I'm ready to be married, as opposed to the 10 years before that, when every failed misstep, everything that I'd done was wrong. And realizing, okay, I now know why it would have been a bad thing for me to have gotten married before then. And that's what kind of this movie is. It's just a movie that just speaks to the human experience. And to me, that's the best kind of movies.
Well, I'll say this final thought on this, and I recommend it.
Yep.
I recommend it. It's an unapologetic romantic movie, not a comedy, romance. The thing with Phoebe Waller-Bridge at the beginning was probably the worst part of the movie. That you could have cut, you could have cut that and it would have been fine. This is about dealing with your baggage while you enter in a new relationship. It does it so well. It's so sincere. I'm not used to things being so sincere. And I recommend this movie. Actually, see with your significant other. Really, I do think see this with, it will start.
It's a good date movie too.
It is a good date movie. So I do recommend it for that reason. So Alan, I assume you recommend it as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Let's go to comments here.
So far, this has been a good year for romance.
Yeah.
The Materialists, The Roses, and this one, oddly enough. Noah Knox Marshall for 5. Imagination Bay, our company, is currently vetting animation studio in the Canary Islands for a movie. The incentive there can exceed 47%.
Wow.
Well, good luck to you.
Where's production going?
Okay, Will Yum for 5. I checked out when you said Phoebe Waller-Bridge. Yeah, you should never mention.
She's in the movie for 5 minutes. It's over, but she didn't need. It's fine.
Yeah, it's a bookend that could have been done differently. Sons and Shadows. Chris, is this a date movie with a spouse or significant other?
100%. It's a serious romance movie. We're not used to those.
I think you can even. I don't know that you want to go cold like with a first date, but if you're second, third date, even be interesting. It'll say whether you two should be together or not.
Yeah.
Beersaurus Rex. This summary just makes me want to rewatch Defending Your Life or Eternal Sunshine. Instead.
Also, 2 really good romance films. Eternal Sunshine is one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah, Defending Your Life. Always a fan of Albert Brooks. Tim is not funny. Should this have been an Amazon movie or legit? How does it compare to Life of Chuck or Twin?
They're
movie?
totally different. Totally different. This is.
I think the vibe is like Life of Chuck, but this is a far superior movie than Life of Chuck.
Hey, Alan, you saw a movie called Swiped. Speaking of romance, you saw a movie called Swiped, which just landed on Hulu. If you have Hulu, it's a movie from 20th Century Fox on Hulu.
Yes.
Tell me about Swiped, which deals with dating apps, Tinder, and the creation of Bumble.
Okay.
What?
Yeah.
Tell me the story.
Okay. So this is a biopic. It's the story of Whitney. Let's see. Oh, Whitney Wolf. And she is the co-founder of Tinder. She is also the founder of Bumble. But this takes place. Goes back to her just graduating from college. She's basically set up as this marketing genius, and she gets in touch with the guys who are developing a dating app. She's the one who comes up with the word Tinder. She's the one who actually. She's a marketing genius. She's the one who actually got the app off the ground, and made it the success that it is. But of course, she's a lone woman in a sea of men.
Right.
And so, as you can imagine, things happen that aren't so nice. Misogyny. She's marginalized. She's not listened to. The fact that you may have heard for the first time that she was the co-founder of Tinder. Well, that's addressed why she was kind of dropped off from that. And stars Lily James, which should be good enough to watch the movie. I will say the best part of this movie is there is a scene in this movie that takes place in my grandfather's restaurant. So right away, this is a 10 out of 10. But look, this is a fairly standard, typical biopic. It's got all the themes, soul woman in a man's world. It's funny. There was a moment in there where it's like, well, women in STEM, she wants to build Bumble with 90% women, and a man tells her, well, legally you can't say that, and she goes, okay, 90%. Then there's these rants about how women are women in STEM, and which made me think of my mom, who was a woman in STEM back in the 60s, almost as if her efforts meant nothing. But look, in the end, it's okay, but it's very typical of
it's like a TV movie.
Yeah, it is definitely. It's shot in LA at least, so I'll give it that. But it's like watching a movie about a 80s 90s rock star who can't handle fame and gets into drugs and sleeps with a lot of women, because that's how all biopics of 80s rock stars, that's how the story always plays out. And this is another one of those women who are on the rise in the corporate world and all the misogyny she has to deal with. This is definitely it. And it's a true story. She became.
Do you recommend it? I mean, I was aware of it. I was aware of this story.
If you are bored, and go see it. If you want to know how Tinder was made and how Bumble was made, but as a movie altogether, it's a bear recommend only in the sense that there's not really a lot of bad things to say not to see it, but I wouldn't rush to go out and see it.
let's go to comments here.
All right, from Brock Samsonite. She helped get the app off its knees. I don't understand that. Jonathan Hirth. So it's like the Social Network, but worse. Lower budget, yeah. And Rhaegar Targaryen is the song It's a Man's World played in the movie. No.
Well, there you are. Hey, we like to support independent filmmakers. And when they have movies that are coming out, we bring them on the show to talk about their movies. And we have director Neil Marshall here to talk about his movie, Compulsion, which I believe is, well, he'll tell us because he's on the show right now. Let's talk to Neil. Hey, Neil.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing good.
Good to see you guys.
Glad to see you. What's up? Tell us about, first of all, the poster for your film looks amazing. I got to say, really compelling. Tell us about the movie.
Yeah, I mean, Saban have done a fantastic job with that poster. They came up with that one, and it's certainly eye-catching. But yeah, I wanted to make a sort of giallo homage, like a slasher movie in the giallo style. So that was the objective of it.
And what in terms of, like, for those that don't know that style of movie, how would you describe it?
Well, it's obviously it's very stylized. It comes from the Italian style of there was lots of black leather gloves, razor blades, slashers, eroticism, all kinds of stuff going into these things. But primarily it was like some fairly juicy, bloody kills with razor blades. And I thought, okay, how can I do one of those kind of movies?
Well, I mean, look, indie horror is super popular. We have Halloween season is now months long. Everyone I know puts up their decorations in September. Spirit Halloween opens in July. Okay. There's a lust, I would say love for horror in this season. What sets your movie apart? We've seen a lot of films. I think, the tendency, you see subgenres of horror. Where would you put this?
I mean, I suppose the nearest comparison would be a slasher movie of sorts. I don't know is it a horror movie? It's got horrific stuff in it, for sure, and suspense and tension, a fair bit of blood and guts. So I guess that qualifies. There's nothing supernatural about it, but it is a psychological horror film, if anything.
Let's take a look at the trailer for the film, and just be warned, it's rated R. Here we go.
We've got a homicide.
They're calling the Maltese Phantom.
Catchy.
I'm Diana. And you?
Evelina. People call me Evie.
You traveling alone?
The killer is a local.
What evidence they got?
You think he's dangerous?
When push comes to shove, aren't we all? Impressive collection. Is that an original katana?
Someone is playing games with us.
Why are you being so nice to me? You remind me of me. What shall we toast to? Your education. You remember the end game. You don't need to be scared.
Damn. All right.
Yeah. Hey, I got to ask you. So the last time you were with us, we were talking about the Duchess, and now we're at Compulsion. What was? I mean, I'm always curious. How did the Compulsion come out of Duchess? What was the transition? What were you thinking in terms of going in this direction?
Well, I mean, the original idea was I wasn't intending to direct Compulsion. I wrote it with the intention that I would kind of sell it or have somebody else might direct it or whatever. But it actually got funded quite quickly, financed quite quickly, and then there was the opportunity of like, well, why don't you just direct it yourself? And it's ready to go. And in this day and age, it's difficult for independent filmmakers to turn down movies. So I thought, well, what the hell? Nobody knows it better than I do anyway. So and once I kind of got into my mind that I could go down the giallo route and like pay homage to that, but also do a slasher movie and also pay homage to kind of the erotic thrillers of the 90s or the 80s and 90s that I really enjoyed at the time, and Fatal Attraction and all that kind of stuff. I just kind of ran with it and went down that route. Yeah, and we shot it in Malta. Actually, it's quite old because we shot it beginning of 2023, so it's been around a while.
We've got like 2,000 people watching live, and we've got a bunch of questions from our chat. Before we get to that, I have one. This question. It's a very sexy movie, clearly, from what we could see in the trailer. It wasn't a red band trailer. It's still green band. But do you deal with intimacy coordinators? I know there's, I've heard directors who've used them love it. It's really absolves of some liability, makes it easier to deal with things. Some actors don't like the intimacy coordinators. How did you deal with those scenes?
Myself and the producer sat down with the cast and asked them what they wanted. Because it's primarily like it's the two female leads and the male lead. We sat down with them and said, like, what do you want? What's going to make you feel comfortable? And they pretty much, they all said we'd rather not have an intimacy coordinator, because for their point of view, it's another person on set. It's another set of eyes on set. So their whole thing was a lot of them have done these kind of scenes before, have a lot of experience with it. They were perfectly confident and comfortable with me directing it. So as long as it's a controlled set, as long as it's bare minimum of crew, then we trust you, we trust the first AD, and we'll do it that way rather than having yet another person to be on set with them.
Do they kind of see them as a second director on set?
I guess so. I've not actually worked with one before, so I've never had any reason to until this film came along. So I don't really know, but I guess it's like having a second director on set.
We've got so many questions for you from our chat. Let's go to those. First, a compliment from Sons and Shadows. The Descent, Doomsday, Dog Soldiers. Thank you for all your fantastic work. This looks great. And then people are asking, Jonathan Hirth says, will we see a sequel to The Descent?
Well, beyond the sequel that already exists. I guess
there you go. It exists, Jonathan.
Yeah, I guess that shows how forgettable that is. I don't know. There is the possibility of a Descent sequel. I can't really say much more than that because I don't. These early films that you make, I don't own the rights to them, so it's not up to me, unfortunately. But fingers crossed.
Yeah. Compulsion just shot to the top of my must-see list from Wes cool. Ray, who goes on to ask, Neil, what are some of your favorite giallo movies that inspired you?
Well, I mean, principally the work of Dario Argento. That's how I got into giallo, and a lot of his style. So Bird with the Crystal Plumage. I love opera. Opera is one of my favorites as well. The shooting through the keyhole scene in opera is like one of my all-time favorite sequences. But yeah, that's my principle.
Urjo asks, was the entire cast and crew British?
Not at all. We had a multinational crew. We shot it in Malta. A lot of the crew were Maltese. We had a whole bunch of Italians, and we had a lot of key crew from South Africa as well, and some Brits as well. So it was a really multinational crew and multinational cast. We have Italians and Polish lead actress. So I mean, amazing group of people.
And from Urjo also asks, any first-person shots of the killer with his gloves, his or her?
Well, I don't want to give that away, but Yeah, they're I mean, you could say you saw them at the beginning of the trailer. There is definitely some first-person shots.
Yeah.
Again, it's a giallo. You got to do that.
And last question from our chat. Solomon Thornton says, who's a member, thank you. Greetings, Sir Neil. Love giallo film. What is your best approach for creating suspense?
It's to kind of calm things down a little. You know, movies are so loud and fast or whatever these days. To try and create suspense, you want to put the audience in an uncomfortable position. So it's actually like making things quiet, making things a little bit slow, get them on edge that way, get them irritated by things, or like how Quiet Place did it so well of just being quiet. You know how that set the audience on edge. So that's the kind of thing that I like to do. Yeah, just go still, go calm for a little bit.
A few more dropped in here. Krog based or 20 Swedish krona. I know Dog Soldiers by heart. You're a hero.
Thank you. I'll take that.
And Ololique says, I know we've asked about a Dog Soldiers sequel, but what about a different monster movie set in the same universe?
Funny enough, I was thinking about that today. The possibility of like doing some other kind of monster, but in the same universe. It's a definite thought. I mean, I do love a good monster movie, so.
Yeah. And the Garth Knight Returns asks, Neil, I remember going to the theater to see Doomsday, and was for me like seeing a love letter to John Carpenter's Escape from New York. Great mix of genres in Doomsday.
Well, yeah, much appreciated. I love doing that movie, and the main thing for me was that I got the seal of approval from John Carpenter himself, so that I'll take that.
Yeah, and I do have, of course, a question I know everyone wants to know: where can people see Compulsion?
So it's actually going to be out in theaters, limited theaters. I don't know exactly where. Saban are putting it out in theaters for a week, and then it's on pay-per-view. All those forums for pay-per-view, wherever you get your movies from.
Yeah, right. I think some AMCs are showing it here.
Yeah. And then here we go. That's just a shout out to Atomic Glory. Thank you, Be My Better.
I have to ask you one question, but would you ever consider doing a future movie in the United States?
I'd love to come and do a movie there. I mean, the funny thing was I lived out there for 10 years, and the only thing I ever shot there was Westworld. Everything else I was shooting was I was doing a lot of TV stuff, and we were shooting in Canada. We were shooting in actually, no, I lie. We did shoot Constantine in Atlanta, so did that there, and Westworld in LA. But I would love to come back. I mean, I have westerns that I want to do. I have other action stuff I want to do, and I'd love to come and shoot in the States.
Westerns are back, so please make a Western. Neil, thank you so much for coming to see us. When you have another movie, please come back and visit us.
Thanks for having me. Pleasure.
Congrats on the film.
Cheers.
Take care. That was great. Neil, always a great guest. That's awesome. Hey, we have one more film to talk about today that we should discuss. Apollo 13, the IMAX re-release, is here. It's this is a new trend. This is a trend that is gaining a lot of popularity. Classic movies being released to theaters. It used to be every couple months. Every week, big movies are being re-released. 4K. They're in 4K now. IMAX. My local AMC in Burbank. It's not every IMAX screening, but they'll do an IMAX screening of Apollo 13. This, of course, Ron Howard directed this based on true events. Alan, let's just talk about Apollo 13. What a real life. And I love NASA stories. I own a little model of the Saturn V rocket. I was obsessed with NASA as a kid. I have patches, books. I love watching documentaries about NASA, From Earth to the Moon. There's so many good, the series From Earth to the Moon. Was great.
And my dad lived it. So
yeah, well, your dad, you should talk about your dad's connection.
Yeah, so my dad, he worked on all the Apollo missions as an engineer. So him and his crew designed the second stage rocket for the Apollo. So you have the first stage, which is liftoff, gets you out of the atmosphere, and the second stage just puts the rocket in orbit around the Earth before they go on the actual mission to the moon. And my dad's engine was that second stage rocket, which is probably the least interesting of the three stages. But there are subjects that just bond you with your parents, and it's always their work. And anytime something anything related to the Apollo missions, those are the things that my dad and I got to do. When they came out with the Apollo 11 documentary, I know I'm not supposed to do this, but during Christmas, I whipped out my screener that they sent us and watched it. My dad was just very intent on that launch sequence because he wanted to see his work in action. And that's our connection with Apollo 13. And I think anytime I see anything about the Apollo missions, I'm much more drawn to it than most anything else. And Apollo 13, certainly, it's the look, we've been to the moon, and then who cares anymore? And it's this amazing mission. And just for me, this movie is all about human ingenuity, and dare I say, American ingenuity. The fact that there's a mission at hand. How do we get these three men back safely to Earth and they dump a box using these things? Gary Sinise, just fantastic in this film, in that later segment of the film. I love it, and I can't wait to see it in IMAX.
Yeah, it's it's a full-on like action movie in space based on a real story, and a thriller in a sense. The scene where they're like, they say, okay, here's what they have up there to deal with. How do they make this? Like, we have to replicate it here so they can do it there. And when they shot the movie, they went, when they were shooting scenes that were, 0G with them floating, they went, they had an aircraft set they built that did what they call these parabolas, where they kind of do loop-de-loops. They call it the vomit comet. Right, you go up on that, and I went on it. It's to simulate, like, they gave us M&Ms, and I did this whole sequence for G4 on doing this. So doing the parabolas, and you hold an M&M and just sits there. It floats in front of your eyes. You just can eat it out of the air. I got sick on that flight. I didn't throw up, but I was really woozy on the way back. It gave me a newfound appreciation, not just obviously for astronauts, but also for the actors to be doing that and doing scenes while doing the parabolas. You have this window of time where you're in 0G, right? And you've got to act during that. I mean, really amazing feat. Not only of filmmaking, this movie was 1995.
Yeah.
What they did back then, I mean, spectacular, and now in IMAX. So,
well, and then there was that long stretch of never having lost a man in space.
Yes, yeah.
And this was, it was like, wow, this one could be it, and what a way to die too. And again, the drama is there. It's amazing. The drama is there for a story. How it ends.
Right, well, yeah, but you're still riveted. So, what do you mean? What a way to die? What are you talking about?
I mean, like drifting off into the vacuum of space versus the way, sadly, how other astronauts have died.
Well, obviously, we recommend a lot of the movies being re-released to theaters are just solid, good films, and the kind that Hollywood can't really make today. Dare I say? I mean, Back to the Future is coming out next month, and I believe 40th anniversary of Back to the Future. So, and I really think the success of these classic films, it's weird. A movie from 1995 is a classic film, right?
It's like 30 years music. It's all music from the 80s now.
But I mean, the fact that these are doing so well financially, we just saw Jaws a few weeks ago. Get re-released. It was number 3 at the theater box office.
Yeah. And then when you say you can't make this movie anymore, you can make Apollo 13 again. You just have to remove all the American flags.
Remove the American flags, make it more diverse.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. It's too white. It's a
what's weird is it's like this story, they cast people who look like the real people. That was the real story. A lot of older films are diverse. They just they focus a little too much on that and just really focus on the story.
Yeah.
I think
the other thing is Apollo 13 launched from the Earth to the Moon.
Yeah.
That series is just as incredible, and I actually got to see him film it at Walt Disney World. So
yeah. Let's go to comments.
Yes.
Here we go.
Okay. Portland 182. Classic movies outperform current day movies because they're better.
Yes, they are.
The Dark Knight Returns. Apollo Ing. Yeah, go see Porky's instead of doing it. Brock,
yes.
Brock Samsonite. How is it in IMAX when it wasn't filmed in IMAX? They had to upscale it a bit. Yes, a lot. But if it was like the Jaws upgrade, it's still in the letterbox, so it won't fill the entire IMAX screen. Christopher Moonlight Productions. Hey, Christopher. Morning, gents. Coming in late. Bought that big ticket item I was telling you about. When I was a kid, I was at the last Challenger landing. I wore my Superman outfit. Was an amazing day for a kid.
Wow. I hope you took pictures, Chris.
My brother used to go to the space shuttle landings over at Edwards Air Force Base here in California. Fresh Snow. Fun fact, Jim Lovell wanted Kevin Costner to play him in Apollo 13.
That's funny.
Instead, he got the guy from
Tom Hanks is good.
I know. No, what was that show he did where he cross-dressed?
Bosom Buddies.
Yeah, Bosom Buddies. He got the guy from Bosom Buddies. 80 Ellis 24. Does that make Frank an astronaut like Katy Perry?
I didn't even think of that. It was just like, I got to experience zero G on. They used those ships to train astronauts, and they used that same plane to make the movie. So, and I got to experience it. Anyone can do it. Anyone can book that parabola experience.
Yes. And you'd be an astronaut just like Katy Perry.
Exactly. Hey, this was a fun show. I enjoyed, look, on occasion, we will delve into political talk as it affects entertainment, not a political show, but maybe putting Jimmy Kimmel on the thumbnail maybe got some people turned off, some people not sure. Let us know what you think in the comments. Appreciate you guys. What are you doing this weekend, Alan?
I have a show in San Diego, National Comedy Theater, tomorrow at 7:30, my last show for the month. And you can buy tickets at nationalcomedy.com. Last week was a great show. I'm just saying you guys missed a great one. Press M to Start got to see it. So.
And I'm going to be working on my patio, going to some barbecues, probably barbecuing some skewers. That's what I got on my plan.
Yeah. I would barbecue meat.
I'm barbecuing meat with skewers and red peppers and onions. Love it. I just got a fire pit. I got a really cheap one, fire pit in my patio, and I'm going to use it to grill. You can grill with this fire pit.
Yeah, you should buy like wood log shaped as Batmite.
Yes, bat shaped wood is what I've got. Okay, back on Monday with Versus. We're gonna talk Kimmel on Versus because I want to get a diversity of opinion on Versus. And thank you to our mods, Lord Thoth, MK Solid, Alan, and I'll probably be looking at Twitter. That's where we find a lot of loathsome and inspiring stuff.
Should we have a Jimmy Kimmel firing celebration on Monday, or
I'm not going to celebrate it. I think he's not funny, and he's not doing his job entertaining.
I'm just saying, now that the world is in a celebration mood,
I'm not. I've been kind of down lately. I'm not celebrating anything. I am sad for the current state of the country. I'm sad for the current state of Hollywood. Seriously, I mean, like, we look at this Apollo 13, Jaws. Hey, all the Back to the Future, all these great old movies coming out, doing better box office than current day movies. Hollywood, you're out of touch. Look in the mirror. Wake up. Jimmy Kimmel is a wake-up call, and we will discuss it more on Monday. I mean, that's going to be our big topic on Monday. I just saw the thumbnail. It's pretty funny. So there you go. So yeah, that's it. And have a good weekend, everyone. Maybe log off for a bit. I'm doing a barbecue. I'm gonna log off.
You're gonna marinate meat.
I'm going to wait. Alan has something to say.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Alaning reporting for Film Threat. Our top story this evening: Disney still sucks. Back to you, Chris.
That's breaking news. I didn't know about that.
Wow, I wish I looked like that.
That's crazy. So, okay. That's it for us. Have a great weekend, everybody. Go see a movie. Apollo 13, A Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey, if you're up for a romance. So that's at least a couple things out there. But a lot of bad stuff too.
Spinal Tap. Go see Spinal Tap.
Spinal Tap. If you haven't seen it, check it out. There are little bright spots. So take care, everyone.
And Alan, do you have anything to say?
Yeah, let's get out of here.